Welcome back to TailorMade Scale Modeling. Here is another episode of Back in Time. This time we're talking about the Hobby Boss General Motors 6x6 deuce and a half with a 40mm flak. This piece of equipment was a field modification that were made by the Free French Forces to accompany their fast tank units into Germany. The construction starts right away with the engine, which is really neatly done and is generally very accurate. The only thing that is missing is a water pump, but that can be easily added. As well, the engine profits from a few additions of brass rod. Because the engine is so beautifully detailed, I decided very early in the build that it would be visible in the final model kit. I used mostly Vallejo paint and Alclad. The engine block is wrapped up in cellophane foil to be installed into the chassis. Generally the parts are very well executed and there is little wrappage, but there are a few sink marks and ejection marks that need filling to be just perfect for your project. This time around I decided to paint the model kit in sequence in sub-assemblies, and so with the general assembly of the chassis complete, I started with a layer of black followed by olive drab with an intensive go on dry brushing afterwards. Before continuing the work on the upperworks of the kit, I decided to finish all the wheels and spare tires to have everything ready for final construction by the time I get there. The driver and companion seat are a bit bland, so I decided to fill the seat cushions and covers up with the green stuff to give a little bit of fodder so I could use my rotary tool to give some profile to the seats. Washing and dry brushing makes the effect very visible. The construction of the driver's cabin is actually pretty straightforward. The funny thing about it is that even though you have a clutch and a brake, there is no gas pedal and there is no starting button. These are added from styrene. Sticking to the previously set paint sequence, I kept going here and on the body parts with laying down a black base color. The bed of the truck is made out of a very nicely structured styrene that replicates wood very nicely, and it invites you to paint everything wood color and then add the hairspray method and put the olive drab all over, which in turn is removed by adding water and scrubbing the paint off. To add a little bit more depth to the vehicle, I decided to open the storage boxes at the rear of the vehicle. As I did not have any photo etch parts, all the hinges and locks had to be made from styrene. One of the few setbacks in the kits are the missing gas containers, which were usually a big part of the stowage on such units. I bought the Tasca 35th scale US-American gas cans because they are, in my opinion, the best there are out there in the market. Fortunately, the kit is supplying the 40mm ammo boxes in abundance. The 40mm flak is a very straightforward build. There are no ugly surprises, there is nothing really worth mentioning that would actually make the construction difficult. It's a straightforward piece of work. Already now most of the construction work is finished. There were just a few bits and pieces to be covered, such as the side mountings of the engine and the bumper guards. The kit gives you a nicely wrapped replacement barrel that is to be posted alongside the driver's cabin. With all the sub-assemblies ready, I started to put them together in the sequence suggested as given in the instruction of the kit. Step by step, more parts are added, and with this process I already started the weathering process, which entailed the adding of chalks and pigments. Only a very small number of items were added to the kit that were not enclosed in the box, such as the rolled up top and the back, and the individual single 40mm shots that you will see later post here on the open hatch. This far the engine looks pretty good. Unfortunately, I do not have any information as to the wiring of such a motor. The insignia of the Free French Forces were part of the kit contents. A whole lot of dry brushing and pigments help to weather the kit. The final weathering was the addition of a little bit of mud splashed around the mud guards, the tires and along the vehicle. The mud was made up out of pigments, sifted sand, plaster and water. The Hobby Boss General Motor 6x6 deuce and a half is a very enjoyable build. The addition of the 40mm gun makes it somewhat special, and of course this doesn't qualify for any of the US units, but anyway, this is a very nice piece of equipment, and the kit is very much a joy to build. I would recommend it to everyone who has an interest in these wheeled Armed Forces vehicles. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon here at another episode of Back in Time.